Hey everybody, check it out. What's up? It's Hercules Porsche's professional intro. Yay!
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Heracles Porsche, also known as Guild Knocking Other Places, and we're starting out with some super sexy quarters footage with fidgeting. Oh yeah. Um, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. If not, hugs for you and expired soft drinks for your enemies. Yes, we'll bring back the curse format. Anyone doesn't like it, want to fight about it? I don't know. Uh, Big news today. Big news for the channel. Yes, I am finally at last planning a face reveal. It's really overdue, you know. I don't really, I wanted to do it like a while ago. Didn't really have anything even remotely like a milestone I could think of. But we're at 2,500 subscribers. That feels kind of milestoney, so I'm using that as my excuse. And yeah, really, it's time. I know that channels that have faces on them tend to do better than those that don't. And really, what's the harm, right? Except that you could think I'm ugly. But I mean, yeah, no one's going to, you know, no one's gonna hurt me when they find out who I really am, right? I mean, let's be real, you know. No one's killed PewDiePie yet. No one's gonna come after me. Anyway, yeah, that is planned for this Sunday, and yeah, my long-term plan is just to have a PlayStation camera, so I can just slap my face on my live streams, no problem. And yeah, that is happening this Sunday, and I'll make sure to get. I don't have the times locked down just yet, but I'm probably gonna try and turn it into like a somewhat all day thing, you know. I'll have the face reveal earlier in the day, and then I'll stream some other games with the PlayStation camera on. You know, like I have a Tales of Berseria stream that I've been meaning to do forever, a Dark Souls 2 stream I'm meaning to do forever, so maybe I'll do a little bit of that stuff. Maybe we'll throw some Titanfall in there, who knows. We'll see what people are in the mood for. Unfortunately, you know, the PlayStation 4 means I pretty much have to shut down and restart a stream every time I switch games. But I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to make that sacrifice for you, to entertain you people. So yes, that is coming. Tell your friends. Everyone get excited for that, or don't. I don't care. What else is there? You guys probably, there's a decent chance you want to hear about Project Nova. Again, there's only so much I can tell you, but I was very happy to see, of course, and I mean, you've been under a rock if you haven't heard this, but it was mentioned. It did get a little mention at FanFest. Obviously, I would have loved to see Nova get a whole lot more than that, but yeah, hopefully you saw that clip that I borrowed at the end of my last Dust video that I put out. It was I borrowed it from Adam Gaming, who I'm sure ripped it from some other stream. I don't know, but yeah, Hilmar very briefly came on and said, you know, basically Project Nova. It wasn't dead. He was going to. It was going to happen. He didn't want to say too much about it right now for the sake of the team or something. I don't know. But it did come out later that he is planning to move the whole development team to Reykjavik. I said that right? Yeah, I think I said the name of an Icelandic city correctly. That makes me feel smart. Anyway. So yes, that's obviously, it's, you know, and of course, well, before that I mentioned that they are hiring, you know, engineers, etc. for the project. That was discovered a little while ago too. And yeah, it just seems like CCP has made it clear they are interested in Project Nova, that they just don't want to tell us very much at all. Um, However, a little thing did pop on the forums. A wild Rattati appeared. Couldn't believe it. We haven't heard from this guy in what seems like forever. But he just miraculously responded to forum post. Anyway, I'm going to speed up the footage here because there's a whole kind of actionless sequence. I do kind of like looking through the map and all that stuff, but again, we are in a bit of an actionless sequence in the game, so I hope you guys don't mind me speeding through this footage to get to the next actiony bit. But yes, we had Denny Fleetfoot, aka Kevin Longstride. He was playing some Project Nova, and the map he played on, or if you want to call it that, he played on the surface of a Maelstrom ship, which for those of you who don't know, because I didn't know, because I'm not an EVE super duper into that person, it's a battleship class vessel in EVE. So there have been statements that making this game EVE themed is a huge priority for CCP. So that is interesting. The map really set in the scale for the ship. It was huge. So that's surprising because I think what we saw of Nova was mostly, it's going to be a lobby shooter, etc., etc. So having something on the surface of a ship is kind of huge. Apparently the texture resolution was low, but still, that's implications are big. I think it's way too early to say that implies we might get vehicle gameplay. So don't get your hopes up for that. But I'm going to be talking about the weapons that I think are going to come back in a minute. But yeah, and apparently he was testing out a new prototype game mode, so that's interesting. Apparently he had nice FPS. By that I mean frames per second. I have to say that to avoid confusion. And apparently the gameplay felt like dust, so that is great. And but yeah, I just want to kind of go through what I consider to be my reasonable speculation, my well-reasoned speculation, my guesstimates, and I would have to say that this game is probably going to take about a year and a half before we see the results. I think that's a logical assumption to make based on what we've seen so far. But the weapons, I happen to think that most of the weapons from Dust 514 are going to come back in Project Nova. Like I said, I don't know. It seemed early on that vehicle gameplay was not going to come back. So it's certainly questionable whether we're going to get swarm launchers or forge guns back. But we did hear in a little update from Kevin Longstride that he got to play with the plasma cannon, which I mean was kind of of course, in between infantry, vehicle killer. But we also have a mention here of SMG being brought back, and especially pertinent, I think, is the Nova knife has been brought back. So that's making me very happy. I don't think I was not the best Nova knifer in the game. I was okay. But I don't think anyone wanted to see us lose Nova knives. They're just kind of iconic dust, am I right? We've already seen a pretty good selection of, Dust 514 weaponry and equipment being brought back in the Nova footage we've seen so far. So for anyone who'd forgotten, the Nova footage we did see, at FanFest 2016, we did see, a lot of familiar things: the HMG, the railgun, the shotgun. For the shotgun got a little bit of retexturing, but we saw all of those. So, the addition of more familiar dust weapons means, I think it's reasonable to assume we're getting most of our dust weapons back. I wouldn't necessarily say we're getting all our rifles back. I think the hardest one for me to call would be the laser rifle. Because they are gonna probably have, because it is very, I'm gonna say, Eve themed. It looks very Amarian, if you wanna say that. That does give it a good chance of coming back, but at the same time, well, and now that we know we're working with bigger environments, a long range weapon like that stands a decent chance of coming back. But again, we were dealing with the lobby shooter. We already know the sniper rifle is getting reworked, so that's a little hard for me to call. But yeah, I think, and we already saw some, the needle and the uplink come back in some of the older Nova footage. So there's a pretty good chance that a large amount of dust assets are coming back in Project Nova. Again, that's just my speculation, but I think it's very reasonable. Anyway, as usual, guys, I welcome all your feedback. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's footage. It was just a raw display of spawn camping talent. And until next time, everybody, I shall see you Starside.